Hello. I'm coming in to talk about death. So I've got myself really comfortable with the warm afternoon sun on my back. I'm perched on a beanbag. I have a hottie. And I encourage you too, if you're gonna hang around for this 5 minutes or so, to actually get as comfortable as you can, because I'm gonna be asking some uncomfortable questions. That's why it's taken me a while to come back into this space, actually. As I'm furthering my studies, it's really requiring some honest reflection, and it's asking me to look at my own beliefs and biases and my own wishes, and yeah, it's really uncomfortable territory. So get comfy. If you're coming along for the ride, take a few deep breaths. You don't have to watch this video to the end. You don't have to answer the questions, but they're things that I've been contemplating, and they're really helping me kind of open up even wider into what is possible. And part of the role of a death doula is to bring options, opportunities, possibilities to the forefront, to share things that you might not be aware of. And I feel like my role right now is more around education of people that are alive and well. So it's not all left to we are given a life-limiting illness or a doctor prescribes us an expiry date, that we've thought of some of these things beforehand. So when we are in a heightened state of emotions, it's not more shit on top of that shit. So we know that we are all going to die, and yet we still kind of pretend that that's not so. What I am noticing is that by removing the fear and fallacies around death, it's enhancing every day that I still get to wake up on this earth. It's not all rainbows and butterflies. At the moment it is. There's bird song, there's the rainbow from the sticker. It's pretty magic, but it's not all rainbows and butterflies to look at this stuff. And yeah, but if we prepare for something, people prepare for sometimes for birth, and obviously not all plans are enacted. A lot of them actually go out the window, but we put quite a bit of effort, quite a bit of time, quite a bit of money into preparing for birth. So I'm kind of switching. If we are courageous enough to prepare for our death, because it absolutely, definitely, no doubt about it, will happen. Yeah, it will enhance what we do day to day, because first and foremost, we have to decide what is important. And that's a big one. What really is important? Is it working your butt off to 65, 75, 85, and then finally being able to retire and keeling over? Does it matter more to have space between things, to be able to study what your heart is called by, to wake up excited for what you're pouring yourself into, whether it be a job or a vocation? That's the first question. What matters most to you? It kind of ties into your values. And the next question, it's absolutely tied to your values. If you had a choice and someone was willing to care for you, would you choose to die at home? A huge percentage around 75% of people have indicated in Australia that they would prefer die at home, but rarely does that happen. More often than not, we will end up in the system. And sometimes once you're in a system, it's really hard to get back out. And there's a place for the system, there's a place for acute medical treatment. There are earth angels scattered all through the system. But I know for me personally, that is worst case scenario, and I will do everything I can to not end up dying in hospital. Doesn't mean I won't, but I will do everything I can to not overload a stretched system and be in a place that is so far from natural, when dying is really a natural process, it's not a medical process. So if you had a choice, would you choose to die at home? That's where our conversation can get really rich, because that's where I am most called to serve and support, not in a hospital. And the last question for now: if something happened and you got to a point where you couldn't speak, who would you have speak on your behalf? And have you spoken to them? Do they know your values and your wishes? Do they know what's not okay for you? It's a really fucking hard one, that one. Because the people pleaser in me went to some very initial answers. Yep, I better give them the mic, because I would hate to upset them by choosing someone else. But then I thought, it's a big one. So let's just pause a moment. Breathe a moment. You don't have to answer any of these questions, but hopefully they just open up your curiosity a little bit more. I'm here for the conversation. I'm sending you my love and this glorious sunshine, and the video's now 7 minutes. Apologies.